Good evening. You are watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. The civil, public and private sectors continue the restoration works in the affected areas in governorates of Dhofar and Al-Wusta. 8 flights and repairing of damaged roads and electricity services continue in the wilaya of Dalkut. And the Omani inventors who won gold medal in an international invention exhibition are honored. Those were the headlines. Now for the news in detail. The main military committee for emergency management at Sultan Armed Forces discussed all existing measures taken to deal with the impacts resulted from the tropical condition Mukunu and return situations to normal. This came during the committee's meeting at the Staff Command of Sultan Armed Forces. It also reviewed the agenda of subcommittees and units currently on ground and capabilities needed to restore situations to normal as per the general plan of the main military committee for emergency management. A ship affiliated to Royal Navy of Oman transported foodstuff and aid items today from Salalah port to the wilaya of Dalkut. The ship also carried a number of power generators for the areas where power outages were witnessed. That came within the framework of the continuous efforts and services rendered by the Ministry of Defense and Sultan's Armed Forces to support other sectors of the state to serve the citizens and residents in the affected areas of the Governorate of Dhofar during the adverse weather condition. A team of divers affiliated to Royal Navy of Oman conducted a hydrographic survey to ensure the safety of the port entrance. Great efforts are being exerted by civil, military and non-governmental bodies to restore situations to normal after the tropical condition. Main services such as electricity and water in mountainous areas in the wilaya of Salalah were affected as a result of the cyclone Mukunu. Government bodies concerned are working tirelessly to return these services to the affected areas gradually. The roofs and walls of many houses were destroyed. The overflowing wadis also caused the closure of most roads in these mountainous areas. Within the framework of the efforts exerted by the Sultan's Armed Forces to help those affected by Mukunu cyclone in Dhofar, Royal Air Force of Oman transported back patients from Muscat to Dhofar after they underwent health checkup and treatment in Muscat hospitals. The dialysis unit at the Royal Hospital received a large number of patients from Dhofar during the adverse weather conditions. It is worth mentioning that the number of kidney patients reached 57. The Directorate of Sultan Qaboos Hospital in the wilaya of Salalah checked all the devices at the dialysis unit to ensure that they are in working condition before receiving any kidney patients again. Tireless efforts are being exerted by government bodies and the community bodies to deal with damages caused by cyclone Mukunu. In the wilaya of Salalah, many farms were affected by the tropical condition. Many coconut trees were uprooted and many papaya and banana crops were affected severely. A number of government bodies and community initiatives exerted tireless efforts to remove the remnants of these trees and repair the damages of these farms. The Military Social Services at Staff Command of Sultan's Armed Forces paid a visit today to the families of martyrs and disabled Sultan's Armed Forces affiliates in the Governorate of Dhofar to be assured of their well-being after Mukunu cyclone and to provide financial support to them. This visit reflects the attention and care being given by the Military Special Force Social Forces and Staff Command of the Sultan's Armed Forces to these families. It also comes within the human efforts exerted by the Sultan's Armed Forces to help those affected by Mukunu cyclone. As part of the humanitarian responsibility shouldered by the Ministry of Defense and the Sultan's Armed Forces towards residents and citizens of Oman, the Royal Air Force of Oman transported an Omani female patient from the Islamic Republic of Iran to the Sultanate of Oman with necessary medical equipment. The patient is currently receiving the necessary medical care in the Sultanate of Oman. Still to come in our news bulletin. An increase in business activities in Nizwa Souq during the holy month of Ramadan. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman Television. The Ministry of Health continues its efforts to restore work at health institutions affected by the cyclone in the governorate of Dhofar. More details in the following report by Abdullah bin Ahmed al-Rubi'i.
The Ministry of Health is continuing its intensive efforts in the Dhofar Governorate to restore the work at all health institutions, some of which have been closed precautionary and resumed the work after the end of the climatic conditions. Other institutions were affected and started re-providing its treatment services after being fully equipped, while some institutions are underworking to repair the damages and rehabilitate them gradually. The experience of dealing with such climatic conditions made the impact much less than expected, thanks to the activated National Emergency Plan for the medical response.
Of course, the preparedness for emergencies and what we've learned from previous experiences made the impact of this cyclone much less than what was expected by all agencies. In health sector, we took several actions for several reasons. Firstly, to make sure that our patients and staff are in safe areas. We've decided to close temporarily Sultan Qaboos Hospital in Salalah, and the patient were airlifted to the government of Muscat and other government in the south and the north, and some of them were shifted to the Armed Forces Hospital in Salalah.
Number of patients who were airlifted by Royal Air Force of Oman to Muscat and other areas have returned from Muscat Governorate to Dhofar, as services in the dialysis unit at Sultan Qaboos Hospital in Salalah started functioning. Furthermore, the ministry's efforts are continuing to restore the service in the rest of the affected institutions at the Governorate. The minister commended the work of the medical, technical and administrative staff in all health institutions at the affected areas for their dedicating work and being available more than 24 hours despite losing contact with them sometimes.
Here I have to register a word of thanks for everybody, administrators, technical, doctors, from all sectors, the Ministry of Health, other government health sectors and the private sector, for their hard work, their dedication, their contribution to look after our patients and their families during very difficult times. Without them, the outcome would have been much worse. So many thanks to everybody, and we always pray to God to save Oman, its Sultan and its people.
His Excellency Dr. Darwish bin Saif al-Maharbi, Undersecretary for Administrative and Financial Affairs, visited the Governorate of Dhofar and met the director of the Sultan Qaboos Hospital in Salalah, along with the heads of departments and units. The Undersecretary was briefed on the completed phases of work to repair the damages and the rehabilitation plan for the affected hospitals, units, departments and facilities to provide the health services as soon as possible.
A word of thanks to our colleagues in the Governorate of Dhofar for all the efforts that were made before the latest cyclone. In fact, we commend them for the hard work that was done. I think needless to say that transporting and evacuating a hospital is a massive operation that is so sensitive. Most of the patients needed ventilators, they needed extra care, some of them were the intensive care. And to evacuate a hospital with such circumstances is something that definitely will not be successful without the hard work that was done.
They activated the National Health Emergency Plan for the medical response and public health sectors at the central level and in the three governorates worked tirelessly to provide all necessary care required. Abdullah bin Ahmed al-Rubi'i, Sultanate of Oman Television, Muscat.
In a meeting presided by His Excellency Sheikh Mohanna bin Saif al-Lemki, the governor of North Batna, the local municipal council reviewed during its meeting the reply from the Ministry of Social Development on the issue of allocating investment and lots for associations. The council also reviewed the reply from the Public Authority for Mining on its request not to renew mining permits for companies not complying with CSR requirements. The council discussed the newly developed land schemes in the wilayas of Saham and Khabura and the increase in the number of tobacco shops in rural and residential areas. Ministry of Health now honored Omani inventors who have won gold medal in the 29th International Invention and Innovation Exhibition ITEX 2018, which was held in Malaysia. Here is a report.
Omani student team won the gold medal on the Smart Pharmaceutical System project from among 1,000 inventions from different countries around the world at the 29th International Invention, Innovation and Technology Exhibition ITEX 2018 held in Malaysia. His Excellency the Minister expressed the Ministry's pride and appreciation for these young people representing the Sultanate in the honorable manner in this international competition. He praised their tangible efforts in this invention and highlighted the importance of adopting such inventions. The team comprises two students, namely Salim Al-Habsi and Muhammad Al-Habsi, with the participation of the designer Saeed Al-Habsi, who explains that the project is an integrated system set for reminding and regulating medication schedules for patients in general and elderlies in particular, as well as the blind patients. The inventors clarified that the medical system consists of hardware and software that organize doctors' prescriptions for patients. The ITEX 2018 is one of the most significant exhibitions in the field of technical invention that aims at spreading the culture of invention and innovation among community categories, as well as striving to upgrading the scientific level and competency of people of different specialties, in addition to developing the inventors' skills and strengthening cooperations among inventors worldwide. Abdullah bin Ahmed al-Rubi'i, Sultanate of Oman Television, Muscat.
The Ministry of Manpower stated that over 31,000 citizens were employed during the period between the 3rd of December 2017 and the 21st of May 2018, with over 21,000 male citizens and 9,000 female citizens employed during this period. During the holy month of Ramadan, Nizwa Souk witnesses a brisk business, especially in the evenings. Our reporter Saleh bin Khalfan al-Rahbi toured around the market and made the following report.
In the evenings of the holy month of Ramadan, the scene totally changes at the corridors of Nizwa traditional market as shoppers flock to the souk on a daily basis, adding an intensive vibe to the daily rhythm of the place.
Here you can find the culture, and you can find the originality of the people. Here you can find the fresh things. Either you want to buy fresh fish or meat or vegetables or fruits, you can find here.
People come to Nizwa Souk in Ramadan because all items in one place and the prices are good.
During the period between Al-Asr prayer and minutes before the breakfast, the market witnesses a noticeable increase in business activity, offering a range of local dates, vegetables, dairy products, and sweets, especially Omani halwa. In addition, the market is supplied with a variety of seasonal fruit from Al-Jabal Al-Akhdar at this time of the year.
I come to the souk because it's a nice place, because it's a very nice and peaceful place for people to shop. And mostly in Ramadan we buy fruits and vegetables because we need them the most.
The fish market is another busy corner at the souk during the evening hours, where different kinds of fish are presented for buyers to select from for their breakfast. Nizwa Souq has had a unique atmosphere since ancient times. Omani traders do business here in different corners of the market to earn their living, especially during this holy month. Visiting Nizwa Souq in the evening during the holy month of Ramadan is still a preserved tradition among shoppers, despite the spread of other modern shops around the wilaya. From Nizwa Souq, Saleh Mukhalfan al-Rahbi, Al-Dakhiliya, Governorate.
Here are the Ramadan times for tomorrow. Fajr prayers will be at 3:55 a.m. and Maghrib prayers will be at 6:53 p.m. This is the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main headlines once again. The civil, public and private sectors continue the restoration works in the affected areas in governorates of Dhafar and Al-Wusta. 8 flights and repairing of damaged roads and electricity services continue in the wilaya of Talkut. And the Omani inventors who won the gold medal in an international invention exhibition are honored. With that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at the newsroom and the studios, it's good night.